You learned a lot of lessons the hard way.
Mm-hmm.
What advice would you give yourself as a young musician?
Myself?
Yes, you specifically. And then, if you want to
It's an easy
it.
one. It's an easy one for me. Stay away from the wrong women.
Thank you for joining me on In the Thick of It. I am Amanda Thickk. I have a new thing today. I have a new guest in a totally different style, not an adult performer. This is a musician I have today. He has played in Skin Lab. He used to play with Tommy Vext. He has his own band, INVIDIA. I am here with Brian Jackson.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on. Yeah. It's funny because most people are probably expecting, another porn star, but I was like, we have great conversation, and my goal in this is to have good conversations.
Right.
Because if I'm bored, what the fuck are we doing?
Right, exactly. That's the whole point.
Yeah. So, okay, you've been a musician since? What age were you when this
13, 14.
Yeah?
I used to ride BMX. I started off as the BMX guy, and then
okay.
I went to that. I graduated to smoking weed and playing guitar and trying to get girls. So I stayed into the music.
They all kind of go together.
Right.
So it was guitar though that you started.
Yeah, guitar was it. My whole family, my dad's side, all has a little bit of musical background, not to the serious like I took it, but
yeah,
everybody in that side of my family plays guitar or piano or something.
Okay, so it was kind of like a family thing anyway.
Kind of, yeah.
Was there a guitar laying around in the living room?
Everybody in the family always had a guitar. No one really played seriously, but there was always one around until my cousin had the bright red guitar and he was listening to Van Halen, and I was like, "That's it. I'm doing this."
Yeah, Van Halen.
Yeah. So
my dad is a musician.
Uh-huh.
I'll kind of say on that because my whole family is musicians, and it would drive me fucking crazy because we'd be watching a movie, right? Like La Bamba, right? And it's Richie Valens. And so he has to get his guitar and he starts playing. It's like, can we watch the movie now, please?
I do the same thing. I think
you do that too?
I think I would do that with my kids watching movies. I'd always have a guitar, an acoustic laying around.
Yeah.
And I'll always start fiddling with the soundtracks for movies. I do that still. I have an acoustic and I'll start picking them apart. I'm like, ooh, that might be a good idea for a song. And I'll grab my phone, and my kids have a million times Dad, could we just watch this fucking movie? And no, we can't.
No, I'm having a moment.
Yeah.
Is that where inspiration comes from? A lot of times?
Yeah, it comes randomly for me. I mean, lately, I couldn't even tell you. It's a hard question to answer because I haven't been inspired lately at all. At all for the last 2 years. I'm finding it again.
Oh, okay.
Probably wouldn't even be here if I wasn't feeling more inspired because I think I mentioned I was going through some weird shit.
Oh, so. Yeah. We can talk about that. And by the way, if we talk about anything you want cut,
no, dude, I can talk about anything.
Because we were kind of we're going through a midlife crisis right now.
I'm cool with talking about that too. It's been a brutal.
Yeah.
I just turned 50 a couple weeks ago.
Oh, shit.
And it's not really the number, but it's these last couple years, as this number has approached, it's been rough. I realize what the fucking midlife crisis is really about now.
So
I get it.
Can you break that down for me? Because I'm sure a lot of people watching are, or some are, it's coming. Just wait. But what is that? What was coming up for you? You're just questioning what?
Mine hit me out of left field. I was doing very, very well, around COVID. When everybody was just locked down during COVID, everything was super uncertain. Everything was going super good for me. Life was just going fucking great. And then, I was unstoppable, it felt like 45 years ago, but just all of a sudden the brakes got put on fast, and lost a couple $1 million. My son got put to prison. Lost my house after 13 years. My business was tanking. My business partner fucked me over. I quit my band. My whole identity as I knew it just came to a screeching halt. You know what I mean?
Everything that you knew was your life was gone.
It was it was fucking, it happened too fast. I wasn't prepared. Decisions weren't being made by my choice. They were just happening so fast. And I just found myself going, what the fuck? Whose life is this? What's happening? And I couldn't, I'm just even talking to you, up until even these last 3 months, it's been really tough to figure out what the fuck I'm doing. Whether it's even playing my guitar or socializing with my friends. I know a lot of people. A lot of people don't know me though. You know what I mean? I don't share a lot of that stuff with people really, but started seeing a therapist, going back to my psychiatrist, trying to maneuver through my whole son ordeal that got thrown in prison because I was always a single father. I raised both my kids by myself. So them being gone is one thing, like the empty nester syndrome, that started it. That's where it started. Life was still going good. And my youngest was there, but he was getting his girlfriend and he was kind of not around a lot.
Yeah.
My oldest was off doing his rapper drug dealing bullshit and he was disappearing. And the next thing you know, they're both gone. And then everything else started happening. And then, so I've been trying to adjust and it's been just brutal.
Wow.
Life just keeps throwing it at me. But
do you feel like you've transitioned more out of it, or are you still kind of
I'm definitely coming out of it now. I'm on the reversal for sure.
Okay. The phoenix is rising.
It is. It's taken me a while to even say that. For me to even confidently say that, it's been tough. I've tried to have some conversations with people, reaching out, because I can't even say everyday friends. I don't really have everyday friends anymore, I keep to myself. I'm so fucking private, but I used to be very social. I was entertaining.
Do you think this is like an age thing for us? Because I feel the same way. I'm such like a homebody.
I am, I've definitely changed and I'm trying to figure out how to maneuver through it. Like I've always been a homebody to an extent. I've always been his dad and had a business, I've traveled and did all this stuff. I always had my home base kind of thing, but I was always super social, always out and about, doing whatever the fuck. And then that just recently, in the last 5 years, I've changed that. I don't go out much. I don't fucking socialize. People always inviting me places, but I always have an excuse not to go,
You actually invited me the other day,
well,
and I was like...
You want to know something? So I was going to go to that, and I backed out too.
Oh, you did too?
Yes, I did. But it's okay because, I went out a couple weeks ago to the same place, and I just popped in, and I saw my friend Ginger, who plays with Rob Zombie and Marilyn Manson, and he lives out here, and I just wanted to kind of reconnect musically. I'm trying to get back into my music world, and I feel super disconnected. So I ran into him just coincidentally, and he's like, "How you been?" We started chatting. I was like, "Bro, we should get in a room and jam when you're not with Rob and all these things." And he's like, "Come down." So that's when I had invited you to come down there, and I had put it serious consideration in leaving my house and going to have a drink, and then last minute I was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna watch a movie and smoke some weed and hang out." And
yeah.
hang out with my dog,
Wait, what kind of dog do you have?
A pug.
I have a Frenchie.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw your stories with your Frenchie.
I know, and most people don't give a shit, but he's like my whole,
Oh,
he's
she's my
baby.
life. Yeah, she's my baby. She's Pinky. Her name is Pinky.
So, yeah, buddy, and he my kids are, they'll tell me he's your favorite child, and I'm like, yeah, I'm like, he's here for a short time, not a long time. I got to put a lot of love on this guy.
How old?
He just turned 4.
Oh, young.
How about
She's 16, almost 17.
Oh, wow.
She's at that point now where her back legs are slowly giving out on her. Oh. She's losing all her teeth. She's she can't hear as much, so she's getting real slow. I don't know how. I mean, she's pretty healthy, but she's out there.
You better kind of really cherish the time.
Yeah, me and my son, he takes her half the time. We split custody of the dog.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I keep her for 3 weeks. He'll take her for 2 and rotate back and forth. His girlfriend's in love with her, so they like to take her and baby her and stuff like that.
Yeah. My friend is about to get a Frenchie as well. They're road tripping this weekend to go pick up the dog. And she dog sits for me when I travel. And so I'm actually kind of excited that he's going to have a little Frenchie friend.
Nice.
Because I take him to the dog park every day. He's like the mayor where we live. Everybody knows Buddy. But he doesn't play the same as he does with the Frenchie or any other kind of little short-nosed small dog.
Yeah.
He can roll around and get crazy.
That's cool.
Sorry to make dog stuff, but anyway, I'm a dog mom, so I get excited.
Oh, yeah, I'm obsessed with my dog.
It's the same thing. It's I think I used to be, and I still am very extroverted. I'm both. I'm super extroverted when I go out. I want to talk to people, and I want to I'm confident and comfortable starting conversations and all this stuff. It's easy. And then when I turn it off, I don't want to talk to anybody. I want to be alone. I don't want to go anywhere,
Yeah.
And I don't get a lot of alone time. My kids are home all the time. And so when they finally go somewhere and I'm alone, it's so rare that I'm just I don't want to do anything.
Yeah, I get that. It's weird for me too. Being alone in the silence, I had to adjust because I've always had the kids around in some capacity, or
Oh, it's noisy.
I had a personal assistant that, like, cause I had a pretty nice house in the lakes for years, pretty big house, and I traveled so much. So I had a personal assistant. And she lived with us for a while. So I always had somebody around, but now it's just me and the dog. It's like super
Oh.
quiet and
Is that how you were able to travel when you were like tour and stuff?
totally.
I wondered about that because I knew you were a single dad.
I look back now, like, all these years, time has gone by. I don't know how the fuck I pulled it off. I mean, even though I had an assistant, I ran this moving company I had 700 employees over 15 years that worked for me. Multiple bands and raising both the kids. I have no idea how I pulled it off, but yes, I would say mostly my assistant at the time, former assistant Miranda, was in my life for quite a few years, and that was a huge part of keeping it together. When I lost her, I definitely saw the decline over.
Yeah.
My dad was around too. Like, my dad came up from Portland. He's in Arizona now. He came and stayed with us for a while. Like, when I was touring, he would help. He was always super cool because he was terrible as a father, but as a grandfather, he's been really fucking good.
Isn't that interesting?
It is. And
It's like,
I
how
just
the
went and,
fuck did that?
you know what? I'll take it because my kids have no one else. Like, I have no other brothers and sisters. Their mom passed away. They have two half sisters here, but they don't see him much, so he's always stepped up to the plate and been cool as a grandpa.
Wow.
Terrible father, great grandfather. Hi, Dad, if you're
Interesting.
seeing this. But yeah, I went and saw him last week. I drove up to Phoenix. I wanted to get out of out of Vegas for a day. So me and my son took a road trip out to see him. He's getting old.
Mm. My dad, he's still pretty young, I think. My parents were like 18 when I was born.
So what's he in his 60s, 50, like
Yeah,
60s?
64.
I think my dad's 74 now. It's almost 75. Just turned 75.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, my parents were young.
Yeah.
Young teenage love.
So yeah, other than my dad and that, like, I was married for a brief period of time, and that was
Kid's mom?
No, never married to her. We got split up, and then we were really never we were young and stupid. She was 3 years younger than me, and I think I met her when she was 19. I was 22 or 23.
Oh, you were babies.
Yeah, when I first got to Vegas, like when I first got here, I met her, and then I just went down the wrong path. Nosedive for a few years until I actually got custody. When I got custody of my kids is when I really pulled myself together. It gave me a reason to like build my business, get my bands back on track.
Were you doing the business the whole time you were touring and like doing
Fuck
all the
yeah.
band stuff? Yes.
Well, that's what started it. So I've done multiple jobs my whole life, but I always worked within the moving industry or the entertainment industry. And I've in multiple capacities on the entertainment side.
Can I just ask, who wants to work in the moving industry? That's
Fucking
so hard.
Nobody. And I hate it. But there was, for me, with my crazy touring schedule, even going back to like before I moved to Vegas, I always knew that I could do it. And I always got paid well because I'm a good hustler. I'm a good salesman. I know how to fucking get tipped. I knew I knew my lane with that job. And I was okay with physical work. Now I get older, I wouldn't go out and kill myself. But there was always a job there for me. And I got out of it for years. And then when I started stumbling into touring with Skin Lab, we mentioned earlier, my tour schedule was getting crazy and I was just getting married and we were financially like tanking very quickly. And she was like, we got to figure this out. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to quit my band. And she was supportive. So I started just putting ads on Craigslist, and then that stumbled into me having guys, and I built a fucking huge company out of it at one point.
Wow.
But yes, I toured the entire time and raised my kids the entire time. So yeah, it was pretty crazy.
That's wild.
But I had a big circle of people, I just had like a network of people that were always kind of around,
Took a village.
Yeah. And it just worked.
Wow. When you would tour, like, how long would you be gone for? Like, what's normal?
5-6 weeks at a time.
Holy shit.
Well, that was the brutal, like, that's when it got tough, because when we would do the 5 to 6 weeks at a time, when you get past 3 weeks, it's like, fuck, like, you're away from your kids, especially when you have kids.
Yeah.
Being away from work is one thing, but I really just hated being away from my boys, but I stayed on top of it. I had the right people, but
Yeah.
5-6 weeks was usually the max. And that's the most I would do before I would start losing my fucking mind anymore.
Yeah, that's crazy. What was it like? How was it a transition, or even maybe what would you recommend to new musicians now, or not new, but hobbyists versus pro? Like, how do you go from like tinkering around in the living room, watching a movie to like on stages?
To make it like a real thing?
Yeah.
That's a great question because I've actually thought about this recently quite a bit. It's been going through my head because I stepped away from playing when I was playing with Tommy. I don't know if you know much about Tommy Vext. He was in Bad Wolves and he's very outspoken. He's in the media all the time. Not
Yeah.
always good, very
Yeah.
controversial. But I had kind of been focusing on like my son's career, and Tommy kind of was like, "Hey, bro, I need someone in my like my right hand man to step in that has
Yeah.
experience." So
And we're talking about Tommy Vext for those of you who missed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this will come around to what you asked, but so wasn't considering playing music for a while. Like I wanted to step away from performing, touring especially. I had just felt like I was missing out on a lot, especially with my younger son Alex, who's now 21. But I was starting to feel some regret and a little bit of guilt for being gone certain times. So I wanted to kind of focus my home base here. And then Tommy and me started making a bunch of plans and this and that, and getting me on the idea of touring and all that shit again. Well, long as I'll push forward a little bit. I got a really bad taste in my mouth along the way with Tommy, and we had a falling out, and I decided just to say, fuck it, I'm quitting, and I'm just going to not tour. So I just stepped away kind of from the music to clear my mind going through this whole midlife crisis situation.
Oh, okay.
But the idea of building a band or how to recreate myself in that world or to make it a real thing. Could I tour again? Could I actually build another product again as a band, like a business? Could I do this again? And everybody around me is like, of course you can do it again. You've been doing it your whole life. And I'm like, but can I? Because it's different. How things change constantly in your life. So like.
Well, you're different or the industry is different?
All of it. Especially both.
Okay.
The industry changes constantly. I
Right.
mean, like AI is wrecking things too.
Fuck AI, I know.
But the industry itself is just brutal. Like, like even well-known successful bands that we all like and see and tour, I mean, they're struggling financially, and I have no desire to struggle. I've struggled half my life, and then I was wealthy the other half, and I just want to meet somewhere in the middle. But I don't know if I have the same kind of motivation when I like raising my children. I had this drive, like
build.
whether it was my company, which was paying my bills, the moving company, or whether it was me chasing my dreams of playing music. A lot of people would question, like, how do you raise your kids and tour, and how do you balance all that out? Or like, don't you think you should just focus on your kids? The people that would judge me. And I'm like, but what am I teaching them if I'm not following my dreams either? Like, is that a good example to teach my kids that you shouldn't follow your dreams, that you shouldn't make shit happen? Because right now I got 400 employees working at my moving company while I got a great record deal and I'm touring the world, and my kids are living in a nice house and we're well taken care of. So what's the problem?
And the payoff is that you're gone for maybe 5 or 6 weeks at a time, but you come home. There are parents who are gone all day. They see their kids in the morning before they go to school. They see them at dinner time, and that's it. They don't have any relationship, but they want to be the ones to judge those of us who do it a little differently.
Exactly right.
I feel the same way.
Yeah, they'll be right in front of their face, but they won't even spend time or acknowledge them for what they're doing.
Yeah.
Exactly. And those are the people that would usually be the judging.
Uh-huh. I just know because, it's a single mom. So it's like, I'm home all the time. They come home from school. I'm home. They're always there. I'm always there unless I have to go and like shoot, or if I have to tour or something where I'm gone for a period of time. So yeah, they don't love that I'm traveling all the time. And I'm gone for like, what, a week at the most? 4 days, maybe? Like,
yeah.
I don't really care because you guys are fine. You're taken care of. You're fine. Do you like having a place to live? Do you like having food to eat? Then like me being home all the time is the trade-off for me being gone for a shorter period of time, but it's just more concentrated as opposed to like that grueling, the 9-to-5 lifestyle, which I don't judge it. People, that's how you make your life or you're living, whatever. But that's not what I choose. So it's just crazy when people want to judge that you do things differently.
I was happy. I was doing things. And then like, I never felt like till the later years, I never felt like I was cheating my kids out of my time. I mean, they missed me, but I made my life and my circle of life to where everything just worked, like there wasn't gaps, like their birthdays and Christmases, everything was still intact and everything was good. They weren't missing anything, and I flew in when I could, and I'd fly my kids out, and I did everything I possibly could to make sure that there wasn't huge issues with
But then to rebuild, how is it different then? Like if
So that, yeah, going back to your question, being sitting on your couch playing guitar to making it a real career,
yeah. Like, what's the jump?
money,
I'm curious. Money? Like, what do you mean?
business, just like building any other business. You got to have an investor or have money to make it like you can't. So the idea of going to the local bar in your local town and being your local Guitar Hero guy and in your perfect world getting a record deal from some A&R guy walking in and saying, hey, that's the next big thing. That just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen like that really anymore.
Okay, so I have a question. Does that sorry. Does that mean that it's kind of like similar to content creators where, for example, in my industry, I could wait till I get hired for a company, or I can create my own content, be my own producer, and sell my own shit?
That's
Is it the
exactly
same as a musician?
Absolutely.
So if you really want to go pro, you basically have to organize yourself to where you have a band, you've got your people. Do you hit up locations to play? Like,
Building your network, it depends. There's taking baby steps, having a quality product, getting a good record, getting a fucking great producer, like not just going in and thinking, like as a guitar player or as a drummer or a singer, every musician has ego to an extent. They think
oh
that
my God, yeah.
their idea is the best idea, like you got to really be able to open up and spend some money on getting a good producer and
So
getting
do you have to have a record though to be able to approach?
not nowadays, not so much a record, just a couple good
Couple of
quality songs, and more than just songs, like the whole kind of package, the look. Just you got to have something to present, something to brand yourself,
Okay.
something to attach to catch the attention. I could hand you a blank CD and you'd be like, okay, cool, but what's the package? Like, what is it that you're trying to sell me?
Yeah.
And I think nowadays to get help from outside help, you got to have some kind of business sense. Record labels aren't really what people think. It's just a glorified bank loan. That's all it is, and high interest loan at that. So they're not doing you no favors nowadays. Nobody's giving huge advances. You're in debt immediately. And not a lot of people have the time for that shit.
Well, and a lot of these artists have been screwed over by these companies, like
absolutely.
completely
And,
screwed.
yeah. And that's why most bigger artists that have been there and done it are financing their own stuff now. Most of these huge bands that are like doing really well are just bankrolling their own stuff. No, but record labels are very few and far between doing anything substantial unless you're like at a certain level.
It's just their name.
That's it. Just and by having their name attached, it allows you to get better agents for bookings and things like that.
Yeah, it's like their agency.
But I just tell people that are starting, if you're good, you have kind of like a good band put together, you got everything kind of well put together. If you're really trying to push it, hire a great publicist, because that's always been huge for us. Is I always go for the best publicist I can possibly find. It's always been that.
Are you familiar with Brian Gross?
No.
Do you know of him?
Not.
He's been on one of these episodes. You guys go back. I keep doing that. Go back and watch the Brian Gross episode. But he's a PR guy for the adult industry, but he worked in music before he got into adult.
Yeah.
And he worked with Metallica for 1,000,000 years.
Oh, nice.
So I'm just curious because, that was his whole thing.
I'm sure he knows Jamie, I've had a lot of really good publicists over the years, but Jamie Roberts, shout out to her. As soon as I get things rolling again, or if I decide to, I'm going right to her to help boost my career. If I want to kick things in for myself, I have a history. Like, I know a lot of people, but I still got to come bring something to the table when I do. Like bringing up INVIDIA, my band. We 2018-ish kind of went on a hiatus over a business disagreement, a record deal kind of disagreement, and took a few breaks, scheduling. We had too many rock stars in the band. It was. Everybody had an ego, and everybody.
Do all musicians have ego? I swear to God, this is a thing.
Not all.
No?
Not
Most.
all. The ones that have done something to some degree, maybe.
Okay. Because I think if you've had some success, of course, you own it, and it's that's what kind of builds you. I don't know. I'm just looking at my family, a bunch of musicians with a bunch of fucking egos, and I'm just like, oh my God.
I just keep thinking of one person in particular. I won't mention his name on air, but
yeah,
he had a lot of gold and platinum records on his wall, and he was in my band, and he was a huge part of why I thought our band could really grow. He didn't write the music. I was the writer. You know, he was always a little bitter about that. It's like, just because you have all these platinum records, bro, like you're a great bass player, you've done this, but this is this now. And he always felt like he was taking a back seat because we didn't ever use his material on the records, but it didn't work for what we were doing.
Yeah.
And he wanted to come in as a business partner, and I allowed it to happen, even though it was my band, and just screwed up everything. Like, it fucked up, and his ego is what got in the way, and it ultimately screwed us up. So now that's said and done, we're out of the record deal. I've taken over writing, like, because I wrote all the material in the past with my producer, and I wasn't the singer, but I sang a lot on the record. Like, in the studio, I'm singing on almost every song, but live, I was just doing backups. So now I think I'm going to take over the role as the singer and the guitar player.
That's hard to do, no?
If I'm performing, but my goal is to not, right now, just to see if I can get a little traction.
Okay.
I have 2 new songs that I wrote that are really fucking good, and I know that they'll do something if I put them in the right hands. I just need to decide where I want to go with it. I have some really big players that are in the industry that are ready to jump on board with me, but I don't even want to waste their time until I am 100%, you know?
Right.
Because if I know I'm ready to go, it's go time. I just kind of am testing the waters out a little bit to see. I'm still coming out of my little gray area in life,
Yeah.
so I'm trying to see where we go.
But you're not taking too long, right? Because I feel like for me personally, when I'm kind of tentative and I'm taking my time with something, I'm also kind of fighting myself.
Totally.
Like I'm kind of being scared and holding myself back. And I say that because I try to do a lot to work on myself all the time.
Yeah.
You know, I'm working with a coach right now. Like I'm always trying to get better, but I also find myself just holding myself back without even knowing I'm doing that. So that's kind of what it sounds like to me. I'm asking.
No, it's a great point.
Can I call you out on that?
No,
one?
you can, because I will admit this and own this. So I am absolutely a person, like, when it's go time, I make it happen. There's no other option. It's option A is the only option.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when I have my mind set on something, that's how it's going to be. When I start pulling back a little bit and it just drags on, yeah, like, I mean, I've been doing that. I've been uncertain about where I want to go. Like, how much do I want to dedicate myself, you know? I don't have the kids now, so I don't have that, which you would think that now I have all this free time, I could do whatever the fuck I want, but I don't have the same motivation, same drive I had when they were around. I don't know. It's just changed a lot.
Yeah.
Like, picking up my guitar off the wall, unless it's like a gig that's already just set out and laid out in front of me. Like,
Yeah.
it seems like a lot of extra work.
Yeah, and that's why I'm kind of wondering, like, where does this inspiration to write and everything come from then? If a lot of that kind of energy of, because I think parenting, at least from my experience, it's like that's what your whole life is, and so when as you're saying, when they're not there anymore, it's like that same energy is not there.
It's disrupted my motivation completely.
It's like, where do you get your creative juices from then?
I'm trying to figure that out still.
Oh.
I find glimpses of it. Like,
Okay.
you know, the financial side of me losing a couple $1 million, like, really screwed me up.
Yeah, that would hurt.
It did. And it just fucking just blacked out everything else I had going on. So it just took me down the dark hole, and I couldn't even think straight for a couple years, you know?
Understandably.
But the kids being gone, like, that whole motivation and drive for life and what pushes you to get up in the morning or go to work or whatever the fuck it is, like, I look around, most people don't motivate me. You know, like, I always feel like I'm the smartest guy in the room half the time, and I'll tell you, like, I hate that feeling. In my circle of life, like, I always feel that way, and I hate it. And, like, I don't like to sound cocky and arrogant, but the people I was around for years, especially, like, at my moving company, and no disrespect to my employees, but nobody was inspiring me. Like, nobody had nothing to bring to the table, whether it's just a conversation or just something different, you know? It's just all the same cookie cutter stock bullshit, and I wasn't motivated. I was just kind of like, I don't know if it's Vegas, I don't know if it's the people I was around or whatever. But
Well, I mean, from my perspective, and I have friends who hate this word, but like vanilla, it's like there's a version of life that's just vanilla,
that's it.
and
Yeah.
that's kind of how most people operate. Is just in a very kind of predictable lifestyle,
Yeah.
and it seems like a moving company. Yeah, it's your business. You're an entrepreneur. That's like pays the bills, and there's an element to that that's still pretty vanilla that I think as a creative,
It goes against everything I am as a
yeah,
person.
it's
Absolutely.
like the entrepreneurship is a challenge. So I guess that's what kind of keeps it alive, but you need it to pay, you know, it's like what keeps, it fuels everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the creative part of you is probably like dying.
Well, so like going back to the COVID thing is I originally shut my moving company down in 2021 and said I was never coming back. Like I'm retired. It's over. I started another company, Upper Entertainment Group. I had a recording studio. I was managing a bunch of hip hop artists and R&B artists and things like that, including my son, who was a rapper. And that failed miserably. But during this time, like I sold all my assets with my moving company and I was done. So I took myself completely off the radar. And then my youngest son, Alex, was like, would you ever think about starting it back up? And I said, hell no. I said, no way. And he goes, well, because I got him a job at a moving company when I'm a crypto trader and I was making all my money in crypto and stocks. So like, I'm out, I'm taking a break.
Yeah.
And he kind of got me to open some accounts up under the radar and get the phones ringing a little bit. And I said, how about you just handle it? And then one day we were driving down the street from here by my old offices, which is now my new office again. And we drove by the same building that I started in 16 years prior. And I said, what were the chances if that just happened to be available? He's like, give him a call. And I said, are you serious? I said, if I do that and it's available and I get it, you got to run this shit. And it was available. And I said, oh, hell no. So, and it was. And I told him, I said, you want to get the office? Because it's a small little spot, it's about like this. And there's a warehouse in the back. And it's in a prime location for what we do, at least that. And it's close to where I'm living and all these things. So I'm like, let's get it. So we leased the place out and here we are. It's been a rough year and a half trying to rebuild it like from scratch, but we're back kind of on track. I got like 6 guys working right now. So
Okay.
I have like 8 to 12 guys that rotate working for me now.
Nice.
And I trust them and they're all pretty on point with everything. And I'm not going to grow it any further than that.
Yeah, just keep it small operation.
Yeah, because I want to do other things. Like I want to start other businesses and like
what?
I'm not really sure quite yet. I need to get a certain amount of money before I really. Right now, I'm just building up my stock and crypto portfolio again.
You have plenty of XRP, I hope.
Oh, I've been buying daily.
I'm kind of mad that I haven't been buying since it's been down so much.
So, God, crypto is my life. I literally am in like 8 trades before I walked in the door here. Yeah, I mean, I make more money in crypto trading daily on average than I do at my moving company by 10 times.
Seriously? Have you considered helping people in crypto as like a business?
I did for years. So yes, that was where so Uproar Entertainment Group started off with that. So I originally made like $6.8 million. My ex-girlfriend made $22 million.
Holy shit.
When we were together. Like it happened in 3 weeks. It was a 3-week ordeal. Like real story. CNN came knocking on our door the whole bit. Like this is a whole other side of my life that just got absolutely crazy. So I'll just give you a little insight. So we were a part of this group called Boost Trading on Telegram. This is where it all started. It was just fucking out of control. And I was seeing my boy Lucci on Instagram posting these stories, and I kept seeing these screenshots of like profit taking on like crypto things. And I'm like, is that fucking real? And he's like, bro, you have no idea the money we're printing in this group. And I said, you got to get me in there. I want to, because this is like right when COVID was just about ready to start like shutting down. My business was kind of just falling under the radar, wasn't really doing much, and I wanted something different. So I just joined this group. He goes, it's $500 to get in the group, and then we're basically just feeding, making calls, stocks, crypto, whatever. I knew nothing about what these guys were doing. I just jumped in. I mean, I'm just jumping in, watching, and I'm starting to throw money in things, and next thing you know, I'm cashing out fucking $28,000, $30,000, $50,000 in a week. My ex-girlfriend, who works in the health industry, she's very well off, works in the corporate world. She's like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, you should get in this with me. And she goes, because she was totally against crypto. She was like, oh, I don't want to get into that fucking shit. But she sees me printing cash like crazy. Next thing you know, she sends me $500. She's like, get me in this group right now. I'm like, okay. So true story, was on March 28th, 2020, I believe. No, 2021. Yeah, 2021, March 28th. A friend of mine at like 3 a.m. in New York was like, hey guys, he's in the Telegram group. He said, I found something that might be something you guys might want to look into. And it was a crypto token called Shiba Inu. And My ex was pretty smart. She looked at it. We were all looking at it, and a bunch of guys were dropping screenshots. They're dropping 50,000, 10,000, 20,000. I'm seeing guys drop that kind of cash in some. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just said, fuck it. I had $28,000 sitting in an account. I just took all 28,000 and threw it in. And my ex was like, what are you doing? You can't do that. I said, I'll do whatever the fuck I want. I'll be fine. I turned it into $6.8 million in 3 weeks. Cast out the first. It was crazy. It happened though. Yeah, like I went into my kid's room in the middle of the night and I threw my phone on my son, said, wake up right now. He's like, what? I'm like, dude. He goes, what? And we just started going crazy. But my ex put some more money in and she ended up walking away with $22 million. And this happened during COVID when nobody was working. The strip was shut down. Like we were just tripping on the whole situation. We spent that entire summer locked in our rooms just not knowing what to do. Like I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell half my friends. Only my kids knew, and like a couple of my really close friends knew because I didn't know how to really manage it and handle it.
Yeah.
It was like.
Is this a thing that still happens? Like this group? Are you still part of this? Like.
So I'm not part of the group no more. That was a whole. I still stay in touch with a lot of those guys that were in that group. That group dismantled. The guy, I won't say his name. He does follow me still. We have no problems, but he started doing some crypto scams because he saw the opportunity to scam people for a lot of money, and he started doing that, and I didn't want to be attached to that, so I disassociated myself completely.
Yeah, but you learned how to do this. You learned
do it every day now. Well, what taught me the most is losing. You know,
of course.
But I didn't lose all my money in crypto necessarily. I just didn't manage things properly. I was always pretty good with my money, but I didn't go to the right people. Like
I think we all make that mistake though. It's like we finally get something and it's like, oh, okay, it's so great. I don't want to fuck it up. What do I do now? And then like we go to the wrong people and we fuck it up. That's
exactly what I did. I went to my former accountant who was a close friend of mine, and me and her had been friends for 20 years. I thought I could trust her fully. She knew me, you know? And I went to her first and I trusted her way too much. And I made her my business partner in my entertainment company. And then that was the worst thing I could have did. And and then my son's career, like I put a lot of money into his career. Made a couple mistakes in crypto and stocks as well, but
crypto is still like your main thing
totally.
Right now.
Yeah.
Moving company. So once you relaunch your band, INVIDIA, like do you see that happening soon? Like do you have a time frame for that?
If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it soon. If I'm going to make the move, it has to, for me personally, it has to happen this year. Just because I have material that I don't want to sit on for too long. You know, I have stuff that I hate to not do something with, and I got the right people, I think, lined up. If I was to make the move, I could put myself back to where we were at and where we should have gone, you know?
Yeah.
But it's a little bit of work ahead of me.
If you could, I just want to ask you one more question and then we can wind it down. But if you could go back and give yourself advice, knowing everything you know now, what you've been through, and you're going to go back to young musician you're 13, you're a teenager or whatever. I'm kind of thinking of the other musicians in the world who are just like trying to do something with themselves. You learned a lot of lessons the hard way. Mm-hmm. What advice would you give yourself as a young musician?
Myself?
Yes, you specifically. And then, if you want to
It's an easy one. It's an easy one for me. Stay away from the wrong women. That's number one. I can tell you right now. Every mistake I've made had to do with the wrong woman in my life.
Oh, shit.
And every good thing that happened was the right one in my life. So, but no, the wrong woman that would have been the number one advice.
Okay.
There's no question.
No question. I was expecting like a music answer. No, it's about women. That's funny.
It's been my biggest issue over the years. Not so much nowadays, but over the years, yes.
In like those pivotal times of life when you're making big life choices and then, the wrong woman could take it all down.
When you're playing in bands and half your friends are rock stars and you're making a bunch of money and like people hang out with you for the wrong reasons, and they bring you down overall. And that's another reason I shut myself down too, is like, I want people surrounding themselves with me unless they really want to get to know who I really am. And I don't share myself with a lot of people. So yeah, a lot of bad choices.
Yeah. Don't we all? Don't we all make a lot of bad choices?
Yep. Just got to learn from them.
Yes. Well, I feel like we could keep talking.
Yeah,
Would you come back another time?
totally. Yeah.
Maybe once you finally get everything ready to lined up and ready to launch.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm thinking soon.
Okay.
I've talked to my producer. He's ready.
Okay.
That's the next move. I gotta lock in. Once I say yes to him, I cannot waste his time. So
Yeah. Yeah, I understand that.
he's been around for a long time and he takes it seriously like I do. But I would say soon, maybe within the next 4 to 6 months, I should have something brewing.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Well, I hope you come back.
I will.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you.